Hello, it's May the 9th, 2018. I'm at my flat at Lansdowne Court alone by myself, as I was yesterday and the day before that and the day before that. It is the anniversary of my divorce, which is not a very nice thing for me. I was married in 1987 on May the 9th, and every May the 9th is horrible. As if my life isn't worse every day, but May the 9th is usually vile and horrible and a nasty memory. So in 1987 I was 18. I got married at 18 and I got divorced in 2008. And I've not been able to find a proper partner ever since. Basically, I've had a hard time of it. I've gone through bad stuff. I don't want to go harping on about it. I don't want to keep moaning. I don't want to complain. I just want to get on with my life. But it feels like there's a brick wall and I can't get past the past, if you know what I mean. Yesterday, May the 8th, I woke up with this pain in my face. I took the Karmazepine. It makes me feel moody. It changes your mood. It says that on the leaflet. It doesn't stop the pain. It just makes me feel moody and angry, and I don't want to feel like that. I want to feel happy and nice. I don't want to go out shouting at people, ripping things up and being cross and being labelled as a thief and somebody that's dangerous, and I don't know where that's come from anyway. I've never driven a car. I've never been done for driving offences. I'm just a simple middle-aged lady that wants to find somebody else and move on with her life and share her life with somebody, but it doesn't seem that's possible, and I keep getting taken the mickey out of by young people, and I'm nearly 50 and I don't know why that's happening either. What I was trying to say was I went out to the library, and as you know I write a diary. It's over there, I'll just get it. The lady on that Dolmio mattress advert was talking about someone called David. This is my diary. And you wouldn't believe what happens to me and the things I see and whatever. So I went to the library. I was feeling shit already, so I sat down on the table with my Nokia phone, uploading these videos to YouTube. There was an Asian man sat across me and he was talking to himself, muttering. Mum had told me when I went up there on Monday about this Ben that was a psychiatric nurse, and he was an Indian man that injected her in the bottom with a mental health illness drug for 13 years. And she showed me the chair that she sat on while this Ben, a psychiatric nurse, came to Victoria Road and stuck her in the bottom with a needle. Now I feel sorry for my mum, but I don't know this Ben, and he shouldn't be anything to do with me. So what happens is, Ben was an Asian nurse. So I go into the library after my mum said that on Bank Holiday Monday, and I've got this Indian man looking at me. What have I done? So I feel I'm my mum's stunt double. I believe that because my mum, when I go up there, she's talking about Jennifer's story, and this is my story, and my name is not Jennifer, it's Genestra, which is a totally, completely different name. and it's not fair to me to have to go through things my mum went through, like violent marriages and people being horrible to you, calling you a wolf and a dog, and just I feel like my mother's stunt double. When I went up there and she told me she'd been run over, and she did have a black eye, it was a really nasty shiner. And then I've got women in white cars in the car that she was knocked over in, smiling at me and driving cars at me. So I do feel I'm being used as my mum's stunt double. I'm totally poor. I live basic. I don't have a car. So we get back to yesterday. I went to the library, did a bit of shopping afterwards, because I had had a phone call in there from a young man saying that he wanted to talk to me at 2 o'clock. Because I said in the library I wasn't free till about 2. I didn't hurry home from the bloke. I thought it was some kind of setup, because I haven't had calls and messages for a long time. So I got home up the path. 2 members of the flats was outside. A man that looked like my dad, with beard and glasses and a cap, with his fat stomach poking out of a great big fat belly showing at me. And there was a young lad, bearded, tattooed like David, thinner, and was holding a python looking snake and letting it roam in the grass. I avoided the snake. I mean, people can keep pets, I've got no problem with that, but I myself know that snakes constrict, they can strangle small children round the neck, they can eat small pets like hamsters, and even try to get a cat's head in its mouth. So I just ignored that, went up the stairs and went on my business. So I feel that the neighbours are stalking me, that maybe this person was a mate of one of the neighbours, got me to come home early, whether it was to intimidate me or show off a snake, I don't know what. I'm not afraid of snakes, but I do know that snakes kill small children and eat pets like rabbits, so that's not very clever. Then Karen the cleaner started talking about a machete outside my door. She's left the wet floor sign out on the landing, which I'll show you now. And that wet floor sign is halfway between mine and Gail's flat, because Gail lives opposite me. She was talking loudly on a mobile about a machete. Gail comes back home in a taxi. She hasn't heard any of that. She hasn't seen the snake. That was me. And then Yolanda called about the property in Strood, and I've turned it down because I can't afford a week's deposit. I can't afford 2 buses to Strood. She wanted the deposit Thursday, which is 2 days away. I told her I wasn't well. She wouldn't budge. She wouldn't meet me next week, so I've had to let the flat go, and I've got to stay here again. She wanted photo ID. My birth certificate's gone missing, and she wanted as much paperwork with my name on it as possible, bank statements, and she wanted payment by card and not cash. At the moment I feel thoroughly sick and ill. I can't even properly get out the flat and come back, so I had to turn it down. Dad said he was ill in bed and he couldn't drive me to the appointment, and I don't feel safe on my own, not with walking up the flat and people have got snakes about, men are being horrible to me and that shit. So I've turned it down, and I'm still stuck in this place again, being intimidated.